The worst fear for the Buffalo Bills is. We will finish the rest of that sentence coming up in just a moment here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us, and we got plenty to discuss on today's program as we are looking ahead to Sunday's matchup between the Chiefs and the Bills. But before we do, all week long, we've been in a sub-battle with our Bills channel this week to see which of our two respective channels can get the most subscribers. We don't want to just beat Bills Mafia on the football field. We want to beat them off the football field as well, show why we have the best fans in the National Football League, get some good vibes going for the rest of the weekend, folks. And Bills Breakdown's a new channel here at Chat Sports, and we are trying to show them who's boss. We have 135 new subscribers, not bad. They're at 85. Let's run up the score a little bit and get the mojo on our side for Sunday. For the latest happenings of your favorite team each and every day, from our news and rumors to our watch parties, including this Sunday for the matchup against the Bills, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more, you got to be subscribed to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for free. You'd be glad you did. All right, the worst fear for the Buffalo Bills. We are going to talk about what should concern Buffalo heading into Sunday's matchup against Kansas City. And I feel like everybody knows what I'm going to open up with first when I talk about the worst fear for Buffalo. And that's got to be who's under center for the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's one of one, right? And I think teams have to be just on edge every time they face this guy because you don't know what he's going to do next. And Patrick Mahomes is so good about being effective, even without shattering the stat sheet. He's far from a stat merchant by any stretch of the imagination. And what we've seen time and time again, when the lights are the brightest, when the stage is the biggest, whether it's in the AFC Championship game or in the Super Bowl or these primetime matchups, time and time again, Patrick Mahomes turns it on in those biggest moments and steps up time and time again, and it makes him incredibly hard to beat. And to put it simply, he has been the Buffalo Bills' daddy in the postseason. 3-0 all time against Buffalo. He's lost to the Bills in the regular season many times, including this past year, but he has never lost to Buffalo in the playoffs. They've not found a way to get that done. And his stats of what he's done in the postseason as well have been nothing short of spectacular. A completion percentage over 75%, 8 passing touchdowns. He's never thrown an interception. QBR of 126.6, 93 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown. If you're the Buffalo Bills, you just got to be thinking all week, like, great, we're facing Patrick Mahomes again. Patrick Mahomes, what is he going to do next? How can we contain him? How can we force turnovers? How can we limit him from doing all the special things that he does? That's what's going to keep the Bills up at night. And you look at these two quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, two of the very best in the National Football League. And for Patrick, I've said this for weeks. I'll continue to reiterate. I feel like this game is personal for him, as everybody in the national media has been trying to hand the keys over to Josh Allen and say that this is his time, that this is his moment, that he's better than Patrick Mahomes. And you look at the numbers, Josh Allen, statistically speaking, had a better year. He obviously lost more games than Patrick did this year. But this is about proving the doubters wrong, and that Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs team, they aren't going anywhere, that they're still the best. And Patrick, he wants to be compared to the greats like Tom Brady and Joe Montana. He doesn't want to be compared to Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. And here's another chance to prove that he is on that other tier and not on the Allen, Burrow, and those guys, Lamar Jackson tier as far as that goes. Better quarterback, Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen? Who you're riding with? Type PM for Patrick Mahomes. Type JA for Josh Allen. Get in the comments section and let us know who that is. Today's show is sponsored by Public Rec. I'm wearing one of their fantastic shirts, folks, and I got to tell you, this shirt, not only is it extremely comfortable, it looks pretty good if I'd say so myself, what Deion used to say all the time, if you look good, you feel good, you play good. That's how I'm feeling right now, and we're playing pretty good. Hopefully the Chiefs are going to be playing good this weekend. Let's be real, guys. Wearing uncomfortable clothes just isn't worth it anymore. Why settle for stiff, resisting fabric when you can have something that looks sharp and feels as comfy as your favorite sweats? This year, make the switch to Public Rec, where comfort rules. Public Rec isn't just about pants. It's about making sure you stay comfortable no matter what your day throws at you. They have so many great style options that are perfect for just hanging around the house, drinking beers in the golf course, or even when you need to impress the boss in the office. Whatever pants you choose, you'll be blown away by how comfortable they are. For a limited time, our listeners can get 20% off your entire order with code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. It's 20% off when you use promo code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. Public Rec not only has the most comfortable pants ever made, but they have a huge selection of high-quality, everyday premium styles. You can revamp your entire wardrobe with their perfect-fitting polos, shorts, and hoodies. Make your New Year's resolution a comfortable one. No more pants that pinch, tug, or annoy. For a limited time, you can get 20% off at Public Rec using code CHAT20 at checkout. Just head to publicrec.com, use code CHAT20, and you'll be all set. Oh, and when they ask you how you found them, be sure to mention our show. It helps us out. Find your perfect fit and never compromise on comfort again. Public Rec, where comfort rules. All right, let's talk about the coaching matchup. Big Red, Andy Reid, just surpassed 300 all-time wins as he is quickly climbing up the all-time list of coaches. And, you know, when you look at this Buffalo Bills team, in the last few seasons, a lot of questions about why they have not been able to get over the hump. What is the thing that has held the Buffalo Bills back? And the thing that I point to, the biggest issue for them, it's not been Josh Allen. There's been plenty of times where Josh Allen's played good enough to win. It's the head coach. It's Sean McDermott. I think Sean McDermott has been the one that's made some bonehead decisions in some key moments at times that cost his team games. And I can say that Sean McDermott is a good coach while saying at the same time that he's not Andy Reid, that Andy Reid is in a class of his own. And I think Andy clearly has a coaching advantage here. And, I mean, you look, the resume speaks for itself, right? 3-time Super Bowl champion, 300 wins, 27-16 in the postseason. He was just named the NFL 101 Awards AFC Coach of the Year. And the thing that I always say about Andy, that I would give him the edge on a guy like McDermott and so many of these other coaches in the NFL. What Andy does such a good job of is that he's always one step ahead of everyone else. Whether it's something that he finds in a mismatch against the defense, maybe it's knowing how to tinker with officiating and finding a little edge there, whatever it may be. Andy's always one step ahead, and you can't say the same thing about Sean McDermott. And Andy, right away this week, all eyes on the Bills matchup. He said the following earlier this week. One of the things we'll be working on is you've got to be able to get off the field on third down. We keep stressing that. Steve does, so we've got to. You know, we've got to be able to take care of those third downs, especially when you've worked so hard and put yourself in a good position. The Bills do a heck of a job with that. They're a really good football team offensively. So even an offensive guy like Andy Reid, his number one focus is on winning third down defensively. That's why he's one of a kind, folks. Better coach. Show Big Red some love. Spam AR for Andy Reid. Maybe you like Sean McDermott. If you're feeling that way, type SM for Sean McDermott. Weigh in, let us know. AR for Andy Reid, SM for Sean McDermott. Let us know. Number 3, the Bills' worst fear is the defensive edge the Kansas City Chiefs have on Buffalo here. When you compare these two teams, I think offensively, it's pretty comparable between these two. Probably a slight edge to Buffalo, actually, over Kansas City, but not significant on that front. But when you compare the defenses between Kansas City and Buffalo, I think the Chiefs have a significant advantage defensively over the Bills. And there's a number of reasons that you can point to for this. And one of the things that everybody's been talking about so much about the Buffalo Bills is their ability to create turnovers, and they've done such a good job of that. Well, the Chiefs in the second half of the season this year and in the fourth quarter of games, their offense isn't turning the football over. So even the Bills' biggest strength, that's probably not something they can take advantage of. Let's go through the numbers here. Let's start with the Chiefs' defense. Third in opponents' points per game, ninth in opponents' yards per game, sixth in opponents' fourth down conversion rate at 50%, seventh in opponent red zone touchdown scoring percentage. They're only giving up touchdowns about 50% of the time. And then they're fourth in opponent touchdowns per game, 2.1. So top 9, top 10 in every major statistic there on that front. Now, let's compare to Buffalo. And this is what I mean when we talk about the differences between these two. Opponents' points per game, 21.1. That's 8th compared to Kansas City, who was 3rd. Opponents' yards per game, 17th compared to Kansas City, who was 9th. All right, folks, but wait, there's more. Opponent's fourth down conversion rate, 13th compared to Kansas City, who was 6th. All right. Opponent red zone touchdown scoring. Bills, 16th. The Chiefs, 17th. And opponent's touchdowns per game, the Bills, 17th. The Chiefs were 4th. And then there's one more thing before we kind of wrap up all this, folks. The Bills' defense, when they have faced some pretty explosive offenses this year, they've given up a lot of points. Last week, they didn't really do much to slow down the Baltimore Ravens all that much. And in their games against the Rams and the Detroit Lions, they gave up 84 total points. Chiefs defense, they haven't had bad days like that on that front. So for me, I think there's a clear distinction between these two defenses. The Chiefs have a better defense than Buffalo, and the numbers for the Chiefs don't even reflect how strong that defense is now compared to what it was just a month or two ago, with how much the pass rush has emerged, with getting Jalen Watson back, with getting Charles Omenihu back. To me, I think that's a mismatch, and that's something Buffalo should be concerned about. Do you believe in the Chiefs defense? If you do, type B for believe. If not, type D for don't. Weigh in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Appreciate you joining us here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Make sure to join us for our Chiefs and Bills watch party coming up this Sunday right here on the channel. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.